let's go down to the 30-minute. Just gonna see if there's any area of interest that kind of gets my eye. I do see one right here. This red candle right here before the push up. Institutional candle. Kinda. Let me see. So I do see that this red candle is not lower than this candle, so kinda not the cleanest. Okay, look. I went to the 15-minute time frame, and by the way, Chelsea, everything I'm saying I teach, so I don't expect you to just understand unless you do kind of pick up on what I'm saying and the concepts that I'm kind of marking out. But like, this is Sunday session where basically, yeah, you've never been in the session before, but yeah, we kind of mark up the chart before the upcoming live trading week. I mean, it's live right now, but we have a trading window, trade at the same time, want to keep that discipline. So this is just warm up, you know what I mean? So just kind of getting the analysis ready for the week and, extra warm up, extra practice before we get into it. So just to give you a recap, and that these concepts are things that I teach. So yeah, just like I said, stick more to the source and you'll learn more and more every day. But no, right here is a 15-minute institutional candle right here. This red candle before the push up. On the 30-minute, it was not looking like nothing, but that's why we switched time frames, and it could look like something on a different time zone, or at that time frame. So my guy Sirius just joined. Welcome, my brother. Hope all is well, and hope you're ready to get some more information. And my guy Tay just joined. Welcome, my guy Tay. Of course. But yeah, this is a 15-minute institutional candle, and let me know if you guys want me to mark up any pairs after I'm done with my normal two, gold and AUDUSD. You know what I mean? So let me know. What's good? Yeah, what's good, my guy Tay? You at work right now or what? Alix. Which one was it? The second or the first? Alix. Welcome. This is your first session, Sunday session. So welcome. And Tava, welcome. You guys are all joining in all at once. So welcome. And if you guys don't know where I'm reading, so I'm recording the recap, but also right here, open chat. If you guys look at my live screen share, open chat will be where I'm like looking at the comments and stuff. I mean, if you guys type in like the regular chat, it's fine, but this makes it easy. We're already in this Sunday pre-markup call, and then the chat's right there. So just a heads up, just for anybody that does not know, just so you know. In the train on my way to work, hey, getting in that work in the trade Discord while going to work, that's dedication right there. Respect it. But yeah, so just for everybody that's joining kind of late, like I said, this is a Sunday pre-markup call, getting ready for the upcoming week. So this is not like a deep teaching of the things that I'm going over. This is kind of me just breezing by, and then I kind of just save the questions for after, and just kind of unmute everybody. So yeah, just get your questions ready. But yeah, 15-minute institutional candle right here. So we have that. We go down to the 10-minute, and I do see something else. Right? At this point, we're just looking for institutional candles. We already found the structure, from the highest time frame going down. We see the structure. Now we're just looking at areas of interest that the market wants to maybe come to before bouncing to the other side. So that's all we're doing. Rename it on the right hand side, and if you don't know how to do this, go to the right hand side. It's on tradingview.com. I'll even send this exact website into the chat if you want to be able to look on. But you go to the right, hover over watch list, go down to object tree and data window, click it, boom, you're here. All right, so I do see that at this 10-minute institutional candle, the chart went inside of this candle, right? And then bounced up, went to the upside, right? So that is an area of interest that we are, taking note of. But let's go down to the lower time frame, see if we see any other patterns, you know what I mean, that we can just kind of note. Aha, look at that. We go all the way to the 2-minute. If we zoom in, make our chart look nice and proportional. Let's get this right here, this red candle right here before the push up. And you guys are probably like, how are you seeing this, that, and the third, how, when you've seen the same pattern repeat itself over and over and over, you kind of learn how to spot it. And that's my goal with you guys, to be able to independently see certain patterns in the market that repeat itself over and over. And the only other thing you need to learn is how to profit off of knowing, the certain concept. And there's a few of them, that I always go over. So I want to make sure you guys always have clarity on that. So, yeah, let's mark that 2-minute. Boom. And look at, this is while we were analyzing. It went into this 2-minute institutional, and we could be making money right now. That simple. That simple. You know what I mean? Boom. Like, this is a trade right here. Boom. Stop loss below this low, aka the institutional candle that we think it's gonna respect. Look at all these times that it hit this institutional candle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 times that it hit this institutional candle. Kind of crazy. And then now it's deciding to, go. But we have reasoning. You know what I mean? We actually know, we have some things to put into our brain that's like 1 + 1 = 2. Like, otherwise it's gambling. So we're going to run with that, the 2-minute right there. And then, yeah, I do see a 1-minute institutional candle, but it will look like this. A little bit lower. So we're just going to keep the 2-minute, right? And then the only thing that you would really do is mark the institutional candles on the higher, the more up side, right? Just because that would be like where you would exit out and profit, you know what I mean, type of thing. So let's go right here. Boom. This is a 3-minute institutional candle that, we could even take the profit out at, a certain point. Just because that it's, area of interest that it could possibly give a reaction to. So that's kind of like a safety net of, it's an area of interest, but you don't know what's going to happen. So that's a safe, spot to take it out. You know what I mean? Secure the money. But anyways, this is kind of like the stopping point for marking up, because otherwise I'm going to be waiting for entries. There's really nothing else you need to do, and I like to make sure people understand you don't need to overcomplicate trading. And yeah, these markups don't need to take long at all. Just kind of, I'm gonna give a summary recap of what I think gold is gonna do for this week. I'm not gonna go too far into the week because I don't even know what Monday is gonna bring, and that could change a lot. But anyways, it is respecting this 10-minute institutional candle, right? And since then, let me delete this. Yeah, let me delete that. So since it hit the 10-minute, it has begun to buy up, and actually, right, let me actually just mark it up. 2 15-minute institutional candles on the upside that I see that we could go up to. That is an area of interest, and I see one right above it right here. I do see these, and I'm gonna mark them, because if we do buy up, this could be a target. Boom, boom, could be targets. So yeah, After it hit the 10-minute, it has bought up. And then once it bought up to a certain point right here, it sold down. We see kind of why. Not kind of, we see why on this 2-minute institutional candle, right? And then if we go down to the 2-minute, now we kind of see that it could be making an institutional candle as we speak. You know what I mean? If you guys are here during the live sessions and stuff like that, you know a lot of the times when we make money is because we see an institutional candle forming live. You know what I mean? We see the chart repeat over and over patterns. So you can kind of assume sometimes, you know what I mean, with some experience. But yeah, we're just going to be seeing what happens if it continues to respect this candle. We got some other areas of interest that if it comes to, you know, it can either disrespect or respect. So yeah, no need to overthink. We let it do what it do because we trade tomorrow, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern. That's when we're actually putting in trades and stuff. So, yep, on to the next, AUDUSD. But let me know if you guys have any questions. I will go back, answer anything. Yeah, you know how it is. Make sure you guys aren't confused at the end of these sessions and you guys get clarity. You know what I mean? Because we want everybody to be on the live account and reaping the benefits of being disciplined. But first, you need to get the foundation. You need to learn the skill and realize that it repeats itself over and over. And yeah, but let me know if you guys actually, never mind. I already know the answer to that. But yeah, let's continue. So I'm deleting the stuff that was kind of already disrespected. It has no purpose being here. So let's see. Boom, right here. This is what we're gonna stop at. We're gonna start right here, right? Because that's just kind of where the price is. Once again, we would start at the highest time frame, but we already have marked this pair before and it has not done anything to the highest time frames. So that's the beauty, you know, of looking at minimum pairs, because you don't have to really do too much because you're already analyzing it throughout the week. You know what I mean? So that's the best, you know. One pair can do it all. One pair can literally change everything, so you might as well just look at that one pair and just follow it, stalk it, learn it, study it, whatever you got to do. So, yep. Let's go to the lower time frame. So the daily, it's actually at the 50% right now. You know what I mean? And actually, usually when I was, you know, coming up on learning, I always did this. So I have my, you can copy this if you want to. This is definitely extra kind of practice and like very like, you know, how do I say it? Tedious and neat and organized with your analysis. And yeah, like I used to, you know, put on the daily, I'll be like, in a institutional candle currently. Just kind of saying what the market's doing, you know what I mean? And then I'll go down to the lower time frame. Nothing on the 16-hour, 8-hour, 4-hour. And if you're kind of like, what the heck, 8-hour, 16-hour, it's because I have the higher package in TradingView, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I got different intervals, time frames, whatever you want to call them. But let's go to the 4-hour. I don't see nothing on the left-hand side. It was an imbalance right here, but it's getting disrespected, so I don't even have to mark that. Confuse you guys, nothing. Let's see. Right here, you know, on the downside, I'm looking on the upside, but downside right here needs some love. And I see this red candle before the push up. I'm going to mark that. That's a 4-hour institutional candle. I do see some good respecting. So that is a benchmark checkpoint type of candle that it's kind of like the floor, you know, like the new floor in a way. Many words to call, you know, this. But look, could be another one right here, this red candle before the push up. And if you guys see, we're doing this kind of 4-hour institutional candle while we're in the daily. So peep that. This is kind of experience talking now. Hopefully it hits to one of you guys' brain. But if we're making structure that kind of complies or aligns with the buying environment while we're in an institutional candle, that kind of tells you that we're not respecting this. It's kind of making institutional candles to the upside. You know what I mean? Kind of so you can kind of predict where the market's gonna go if you see structures forming while inside of a institutional candle. But it could be too early, you know what I mean? We are at the 50%. So this can be the start of it going down. So we just have to keep going down to the lower time frame. But number 6, conditions check right here could alter execution style. So the fact that we are in a 50% of a daily institutional candle, you should just be aware. You should just know, like, you should just even say it out loud. Okay, we are in the 50% of a daily institutional candle. So that's kind of gonna make you aware of your surroundings. Make sure you're not like too attached to a certain bias, because it's kind of like we are in an area that kind of gives reactions, and we want to first confirm to see if it's disrespecting or respecting. You know what I mean? And the best thing to do when you're in an area of interest and you're maybe confused on which way it's gonna go, you wait. You know what I mean? You wait and let the chart do what it needs to do. You don't have to put the trade in, or you could put a demo trade in. You know what I mean? But no, just wait. If you're on the live account, wait for the chart to do some more, structure, some patterns, and then you'll start to see, like, okay, the momentum is starting to respect it, or okay, it's starting to disrespect it. You know what I mean? So just kind of give it some time. You know what I mean? Don't jump the gun. And this is the skill that we have. Like, we can kind of see the market play out before it plays out, or predict that what it's gonna do based off of momentum, or based off of structure, based off of price action. Like, this is a skill to literally mark up charts and like kind of know that this is a candle that does this, and then like putting market structure, like the bias of the overall direction, and putting all these in together. It's like you're just raising your probability to be correct with more reasons. So if we go to the 2-minute, look what we have here. Boom. 2-minute institutional, it hit that, right? And if you see here, I didn't mark it exactly. Like, I didn't mark it exactly at the wick, and it doesn't, show that it hit. But if I marked it correctly, boom, it hit twice. The recent time, which is literally on this call, we could have made money. And we were on the call here too. Actually, nah, this was 8 minutes before this call. So I'm just saying, y'all, this is a bunch of money opportunities to be made in the markets at all times. Like, y'all just hear me say I trade at 8 a.m. But for all my peoples that trade, after work and stuff like that, the market still goes, it still moves, at all times. So yeah, it doesn't discriminate, should I say. There's always money moves, but the foundation should be you learning that there's a strategy and a repetitive way to approach the market that will grant you higher chances to be more on the winning side than the losing side, and then yeah, like that's how it is. So that's it for AUDUSD. I kind of have went to the lowest time frame, and like I said, the only other thing would be me getting into a trade. Like, for example, this 1-minute institutional candle right here, boom, mark this, boom. That could be a trade, right? If it comes back down, that could be a trade. You know what I mean? Or down here, if it comes back down to this 2-minute, you know what I mean? But yeah, since it's the day before, I'm not thinking of putting in trades. So I'm kind of, like I said, just getting a little extra analysis in before tomorrow comes. Everything will be played out and it will show me exactly what it has done, since I already kind of looked at it a day before or hours before. So yeah, we're at the 30-minute, or we're at the 50% of this daily institutional, and we have been selling down since. You know what I mean? So kinda just gonna see what it does in this environment and take it from there. And then gold. Look at this. Look at this. Since we went to AUD, it just went another 50 pips. That is insane, guys. Guys, I don't think you guys realize this move can pay for a lot of things if you learn how to catch these type of pips. AKA, yeah, like what? Like, bruh, this is all you need. Like, the people that be, trying to go for lottery type of wins and trying to 10x and flip their money and stuff like that, they're not honoring and using the skill of knowing how to catch pips consistently. You know what I mean? Because this is, like I said, these moves that are kind of showing in your face is what's gonna retire your parents, yourself, of course, first. Get you to stop working at a job. You being able to consistently um, catch these moves, and it's happening live call, like the large moves. You know what I mean? Respecting the institutional candle that we marked. You know, like these are real trade opportunities. It's just not the trading hours that I usually trade. So, but yeah, it's going. So let me know if y'all have any other questions or anything. Yeah, I hope that was good for you guys. It's 10:09. A little bit over 10, but it's all good. You know what I mean? But definitely want to get a lot of things done before tomorrow. But if you guys have no questions, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the 8 o'clock session.